Sreepada Rajam Sharanyam Prapade. Chapter 3. Shankar Bhatt meets Palaniswamy, his visit to Kuruvapuram. For better understanding, we have divided the chapter into 5 parts. 1. The efficacy of constant meditation about Sripada Sri Vallabha. 2. The theory of atoms propounded by Sage Kanan. 3. Description of Brahma Kamal flowers. 4. Greatness of food donation, glory of Datta, Sripada, Anaga Devi, and Kuruvapuram. 5. Sadasiva Brahmendra Swami. We begin with part 1, the efficacy of constant meditation about Sripada Sri Vallabha. I started from Vichitrapuram due to the mercy of Sripada Sri Vallabha. My mind was eager to visit Parmeshwara in Chidambaram. My travel continued for 3 days in a happy way. I was getting food without asking for it. On the fourth day, I stood at the threshold of a Brahmin's house and begged for food. A ferocious housewife came out of the house and yelled that there was no food. I waited for some time outside the house. The householder came out and said, I am not fortunate enough to extend hospitality to guests and visitors. My wife is a great shrew. When she gets angry, she breaks earthen pots on my head. In this matter, my wife and the wife of my guru stand on an equal footing. However, there is one difference. My wife demands from me the costs of pots broken, but the wife of my guru does not harass him in that manner. Just now, some pots are broken on my head. There is no dearth of food and water in our house, but I must compulsorily reimburse the cost of broken pots immediately. This is very troublesome to me. If I could get today some money distributed during religious functions as Sambhavna, there would be no trouble. If it is not possible, I must borrow it from someone. I must repay the loan whenever I get money through Sambhavnas. Out of the money received by the way of Sambhavnas, I use a portion of it for repayment of debts and the rest is handed over to her. This system continued for some time. In the recent times, she is taking away all the amounts of Sambhavnas. Therefore, there is no way to repay the loans. People who know my position are not coming forward to offer me any loan. They are asking me, how do you repay the loans? Are you thinking that you can repay the debts when you receive money through Sambhavanas? That way is also closed now. As I was rich, no one was giving any donation. On the other hand, they were ridiculing me. Now I must pay the cost of broken pots. After scolding you sharply, my wife called me inside the house and said, there is a pilgrim in the street. You go along with him and bring donation received at any place. Then only you will receive food in the house. Then that henpecked husband told me that he would come along with me. He said that he knew very well all the houses of the Brahmins in the village and that they might get meals as well as money as dakshina. I was taken aback. I thought, Sripada Sri Vallabha, what is this horrible test? I went to each and every house in that village of Brahmins in the company of that Brahmin. No one offered any meals, not to speak of offering any financial help. Then that Brahmin who accompanied me lamented, till now I am only unlucky. As you joined with me, your fortune was also lost and you also became unlucky. Then I told him, Sri Dattatreya is the omnipotent Lord who provides food to all creatures. He dwells in Kuruvapuram in this Kali Yuga, assuming the name and form of Sripada Sri Vallabha. I am going there to see him. Let us sit in the foot of that Audumbara tree, chanting his name. Let us leave it to the mercy of Sri Datta. That Brahmin agreed to that. Hunger was scorching in the stomach. We were chanting the name of Sreepada. Sri Vallabha in a feeble voice. While we were continuing the chant of the name of Sripada's servitors of the king approached us and submitted, Sirs, Yuvaraja got speech. Dumbness was also removed. The king ordered us to immediately bring you. Therefore, you please come along with us. I could not disclose our miserable plight to those royal servants. I told them that I could not come alone and that they should take my companion also along with me. The servants of the king agreed to that. They took us seated on the backs of horses with all respect. Seeing this, the residents of the Graram put their fingers in their noses in utter amazement. The Maharaja said, Mahatma, even after knowing that you are a great scholar, I send you with empty hands without honoring you. After you left, the prince fell unconscious. We did number of services to him. After a long time, he opened his eyes and began uttering Sripada Vallabha Digambara, Sri Datta Deva Digambara. The prince disclosed that a very tall, extremely handsome yogi of 16 years appeared and placed holy ash in his mouth. Who is that yogi? Where is his residence? What is the relationship between Lord Sri Datta and that yogi? Kindly tell. I submitted with humility. In what way can I describe the glory of Sripada Sri Vallabham? He is actually an incarnation of Lord Datta. His form of incarnation is very extraordinary, as that of the incarnation of Sri Krishna. What I heard about him is only very little. I am traveling to Kuruvapuram to have his darshan. I am visiting sacred places and holy men on the way. The learned people of Vichitrapuram wondered at this strange happening. They praised the Sri Vallabha Swami in various ways because the king got good nature. They were rid of the troubles and that their Yuvaraja's mutism was cured on account of their austerities for 40 days. The king honored me with a donation of gold. The king's preceptor said, Sir, wisdom dawned on me after so many days. I realized that Shaivites by abusing Vishnu and Vaishnavites by abusing Shiva are only amassing sin and that no purpose is served. As a result of our abusing God, we experienced all troubles. With or without knowing, we observed austerities for 40 days, propitiating Lord Datta. Thanks to the advice of Madhav Namboodri, we are very much indebted to you. When we took leave of them, Madhav Nambodri also expressed his resolve to come along with us. We agreed. We three reached the village. We distributed the gold given to us by the king among the Brahmins of that agrarum. The termagnant wife of my friend offered us food after receiving gold. She became a devotee of Sripada Sri Vallabha afterwards. She turned docile, leaving her previous termagnant temperament. Madhav Nambodri and myself travelled towards Chidambaram. Sage Agastya took Prarambha Sastri, a resident of Raili village situated in the Godavari region, for the priesthood of Dharmasastha Ayyappa Deva. In course of Vedic scholars' time, from the village Namburi of Guntur were invited by the royal families ruling Malayala Desa, today's Kerala. Many Brahmins left Namboodri and propagated Vedic knowledge in Malayala Desa. These people are called Namboodri Brahmins. The ancestors of Adi Shankara also belong to Namburu. Namboodri Brahmins are famous for their religious observances and traditions, discipline and devotion, proficiency in mantra, tantra, and yantra practice. But Madhav Namboodri was an unlettered one. He was eking his livelihood working as a cook in the house of some Brahmins. He lost his parents in childhood. Close relations did not help him. He was having an unshakable devotion towards Lord Datta. After hearing about the incarnation of Sreepada Vallabh, he was eager to visit him as soon as possible. We heard that some great siddhas were there nearby Chidambaram. We visited Sri Palaniswamy, an old hermit leading a solitary life in the hills. When we arrived at the entrance of the cave, Sri Palaniswamy, who saw us, greeted, "Both Madhava and Shankar are coming together. What a fortune!" We realized that he was a great siddha who could call us by our names even without any acquaintance. Merciful Sri Swami said, "My sons, it is time to cast off this body and enter into a youthful body in accordance with the command of Sripada Srivallabha. The age of this body is 300 years. It is the order of Sripada that I should leave this body and live for another 300 years in a new body." Even the liberated ones during life and those who crossed the circle of birth and death, order of creation should return when Sripada orders them to come back. The great resolve that administers the entire creation has incarnated in the form of Sripada Srivallabha. His descent will always take place in the subtle worlds of higher regions. To come in human form is rather rare. His is a comprehensive yogic incarnation. Incarnations emerging from a fraction of his infinite powers always take place on this earth to protect devotees. My son Shankara, you have mentioned about Sage Kannad and his theory of atoms in Vichitrapuram. Please explain in detail. Result of Parayana of chapter 3. Shankar Bhatt meets Palaniswamy. His visit to Kuruvapuram is devoted reading of this chapter is necessary for remedying Nagadosha and for birth of children. Digambara, Digambara, Sripada Vallabh, Digambara. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Sripada Vallabh, Digambara.